Happy Wednesday, North Central Washington. Happy Wednesday, Wenatchee Valley. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Wednesday, the second day of August 2017. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. To my immediate left, your friend and mine, our news director, Steve Hare. And I think somewhere behind your shoulder, Steve, is the Wenatchee Valley.
I think we pulled up the picture of Los Angeles this morning, didn't we?
As you might imagine, our lead story today is the air quality alert. It's on now. It's for all the way through Saturday, they say now. We're going to be, at least through Saturday, we're going to be dealing with this.
Yesterday I coughed up half of British Columbia.
Jeez. Wildfires in British Columbia, a few in Canada, and the one that's just slightly below the Canadian United States border, just above Mazamba, is all combined with a high ridge of high pressure, the big strong dome of high pressure, which means there's simply no place for the smoke to go. It's coming down here and it's going, hi Wenatchee, we're going to hang around for a while.
It's just settled in.
It was so bad that they didn't play Apple Sox baseball last night. The Wenatchee City Pool was closed for a while. And it's not as bad as it was in September of 2012. You and I remember that.
Oh gosh, remember the gauge from the DOE? And it's pegged out.
Pegged out.
It's unhealthy as it is for now.
Yeah, we're at 201 on the scale. I have it right here in front of me on my computer, and that is in the unhealthy range. It goes from 1 to 5. The scale itself from 1, 0, which is like basically breathing pure oxygen out of a tank, to 500, which is like sticking your face in a chimney, which, by the way, we don't recommend. And we're at 201, which is just nibbed into the unhealthy range.
Yeah.
And it's probably not going to change a great deal.
Oh, it's going to, well, just get used to it for a while, folks. It's summer in north central Washington.
Yeah. And if the air quality alert wasn't bad enough, we also have a heat advisory. But that doesn't go into effect until tomorrow, although it's still going to be plenty warm today. Don't worry about that. Forecast details are coming up. Steve's got a whole bunch of news, including primary results from the election last night. Turnout in north central Washington is statewide anemic. Yeah. Really bad. Yeah. But we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes.
About 29% in Chelan.
It was not good at all. But it's still, it's a primary election. There wasn't a lot of things to decide. So Steve will have those election results as well. We'll have sports today in history, the obscure holiday of the day today. Guada's big social event of the year is coming up at the Highlander tomorrow night. We're going to replay the interview I did with Stacy Lukensmeyer and Becca Freemuth from last week. We'll replay that in the second half of the show. Are you ready to look around the Wenatchee Valley?
Let's do it.
Let's see if we can find it. That's our cross camera, the one we see every morning, Steve.
Boy, oh boy. That is bad.
Yeah, it's pretty thick. It's pretty hazy. And again, this air quality alert was issued in conjunction with the Washington State Department of Ecology. It is going all the way through at least noon on Saturday, so there's no real relief in sight. And because we have this big dome of high pressure, Steve, there's no wind. There's absolutely zero wind at all. In fact, as I look real quickly at the forecast, southwest wind today, under 10 miles an hour, almost no wind at all tonight into Thursday. We need a system that's going to come in and bump it out of alignment so we can scour out the skies, and right now that's not in the forecast.
And folks, you may want to check your air filters a little more frequently.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not only in your house for your HVAC system, but your car as well.
Your car as well.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the #1 Canyon camera because we should be able to see the sun. Look at that. Now that does not do the sun justice. If you go outside and look at it with your naked eye, it is blood red.
That's called opacity.
Opacity. Steve, I learned a new word today from Steve. That's the #1 Canyon camera looking directly to the east Wenatchee side. You can just see the haze and the smoke. Monitor what's going up in the Kashmir Valley.
I don't know.
Now that doesn't look as bad.
No.
Now, strangely enough, Kashmir, especially we talked about September of 2012. Remember how bad the air was in Kashmir?
Oh, absolutely.
It was worse than even in the Wenatchee Valley, but it doesn't actually look that bad. But if you go to Union Valley, let's go to Chelan, that looks bad.
That's thick.
That looks even worse than Wenatchee, although the air quality monitoring station on Woodland Avenue in downtown Chelan says the air quality is actually good. I don't know if they need to put a quarter into it or it's out of alignment or what's going on, but you would think looking at that wouldn't be the case in beautiful Chelan.
No.
So
my eyes are already starting to water.
Yeah, it's not good. If you have any kind of respiratory issues at all, you got to stay inside. It is right now hazardous is what they call it. Let's take a look at your weather forecast. And again, we do have an air quality alert in effect from right now. It's underway right now till at least noon on Saturday, August 5th. Smoke and wildfires in eastern Washington, British Columbia, and Montana is funneling right down into us, which means children, the elderly, respiratory illnesses, you could have some serious health effects from going outside and breathing in this area. And on top of all that, Steve, a heat advisory kicks in tomorrow at noon.
Lovely.
Yeah, a heat advisory. So we're going to be seeing temperatures in the triple digits. Possibility today, you saw the high today of just about 100 degrees. Our record high on August 2nd was 103 degrees. That was set back in 1961. We probably won't get there, but it's still going to be plenty warm. So
Hot's hot.
It's hot, yeah. So it's going to be hot and it's going to be smoky. It's going to be hazy.
I saw 106 earlier in the week, but I don't
They
see it
backed
now.
off on that a little bit. For one thing, because it's actually cooler now in the morning because the sun isn't radiating the heat as much because of the smoke layer.
Yeah.
So it took a while.
Insulation.
Insulation. We got up to 97 yesterday, but it took a while to get there.
Yeah.
This time of the year, usually we're up to 97 at a pretty good clip. We're easily in the 90s by the noon hour. So again, air quality advisory right now through at least Saturday at noon. They could certainly be extended. This high pressure ridge has shifted a little bit, Steve. It was coming right up towards us. In fact, north central Washington was in the bullseye. It's now shifted a little bit to the west. It's actually over the Oregon coast, but it's just a ginormous dome of high pressure. So it's not going to really affect the forecast. They're holding true that it's going to be hot and just not very pleasant to be outside through at least the middle of next week.
Yeah, we got a little more information on the weather and the air conditions coming up on our news as well. So
in fact, we'll take a quick 1-minute break because there is a lot of news to get to, and you want to keep yourself in the loop. Steve Hare has your Wednesday morning headlines. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by First Choice Collision Center. Come to Lake Wenatchee State Park for an educational Junior Ranger Bug Safari program. Bring your walking shoes and water for an afternoon of hunting for bugs out on the trails. Later, there will be a take-home project to work on so you remember what you learned. The fun starts August 5 at 2 p.m. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your stoke?
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome to my world, NCW Life News. I'm Steve Hare. And again, this morning we're waking up to a thick shroud of smoke here in the Wenatchee Valley. Late yesterday afternoon, the National Weather Service in Spokane issued an air quality alert for several areas of Washington State, including the Wenatchee Valley. In fact, the air quality alert calls for increased smoke from, mostly fires that are burning in British Columbia right now, but we also have that fire that's burning in the Pasayten Wilderness, the Diamond Creek fire that's kicking up quite a bit of smoke as well, as we'll see in a few minutes. Air quality will fluctuate now between good and unhealthy through the end of the week. Little to no wind expected there, so air circulation is going to be a problem. Meanwhile, the 7 counties affected by the alert are Chelan, Douglas, Okanagan, Spokane, Ferry, Stevens, and Pend Oreille counties. In fact, here's what we were talking about, folks, to the northeast of us right now. Authorities advise those with asthma, respiratory infection, diabetes, or lung disease to limit your outdoor activities and wear a breathing mask if necessary. Again, here's some really graphic video showing the intensity of that fire, burning in mostly lodge pole and downed timber and dying vegetation there in the Pasayten Wilderness. Right now, that fire is well over 6,000 acres in size and growing. And again, it's burning in mostly wilderness areas, and no populated areas are affected, but there are a number of trailheads that have been closed as a result of that fire. Meanwhile, primary election night returns from yesterday show voters overwhelmingly support for fire district levies in Leavenworth and Wenatchee. Fire districts 3 and 1 are both passing with over 70% yes votes. Meanwhile, in other Chelan County races, Keith Huffaker holds a lead in his bid for re-election to the Wenatchee City Council. Huffaker and Adam McDonald appear to be on their way to facing off in the November election. Meanwhile, in Chelan, Mary Signorelli and Jeremy Jake are the leading vote-getters in the race for position 1 on the Lake Chelan Hospital District Board. Also, Phyllis Gleesman and Jerry Eisenhart are leading in the position 5 commission seat. Also, it appears that Tim Hollingsworth and Cameron Skip Morehouse will face off in November as the top 2 vote-getters for the Chelan City Council. In the Eniat City Council contest, Robert Anderson is the top vote-getter. He'll face off against Norman Stenberg in November. And again, the election night returns are unofficial until that election is certified. It appears voters in the East Wenatchee Water District want new leadership. Judging from last night's primary election returns, longtime Commissioner Mike McCourt is going down to defeat as Nick Warner and John Sturck advance to the general election as the top two vote getters. Meanwhile, in the Eastmont School Board Position 4 race, it's Dave Pipel receiving over 50% of the vote. He'll face off against John Brangwyn in November. All of the results, again, are unofficial until the elections are certified. And finally, law enforcement agencies from all over the country celebrated National Night Out last night. Wenatchee Valley event was held at Centennial Park. NCW Life's Grant Olson had a chance to visit at length with Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett about what National Night Out is, and considering last week's shooting in Wenatchee involving a police officer, why it's so important to both law enforcement and the general public.
Things are quiet, peaceful, and respectful here at Centennial Park tonight for the National Night Out of local law enforcement. No protesters and no trouble, just the public appreciative of local law enforcement and local law enforcement appreciative of the public right back.
The first Tuesday of August, all over the nation, we're looking at bringing people together for law enforcement, make connections and people to ask questions, get connected, what kind of resources are out there. It's really that, is just get to know your local law enforcement officers. And if you have a hard question, you know, go up and have a friendly atmosphere that you can have that conversation with. It's you know, you don't feel threatened. They don't feel threatened. We're here to talk through certain things. Or maybe you get some kids and they've never been around law enforcement officers. It gives them an opportunity to see them in a safe environment where they're not getting pulled over in a traffic stop or in a domestic violence situation. Unfortunately, so many times that people have the interaction is in a negative environment. And we've been called there. There's something traumatic that's happened, whether they're a victim or a suspect or just a witness. And so you take that all away. The playing field's even. We've got some refreshments. But you know, a smile goes a long way. So if we smile at them, we hand them a sticker, we present something like that, you can just see we're peeling away the layers of I'm not sure, and bringing in trust with, what kind of person is this? Help them realize that we're people too. You know, we have families, we have children, we care about people, we want the best, and then allow them to see what kind of things that we do to enhance public safety.
An overall good event for local law enforcement, and the folks are having a great time here at Centennial Park. From downtown Wenatchee, I'm Grant Olson for NCW Life News.
Great report from Grant there, and obviously they had a good turnout last night, especially given the weather conditions, smoke. But again, great National Night Out event last night, and of course it was co-sponsored by the Chelan and Douglas County Sheriff's Departments, the Wenatchee and East Wenatchee Police Departments, and the Washington State Patrol. So all in all, I guess a very successful event, Dan.
One more note on primary election yesterday. The numbers that you saw and the results that you saw are probably not going to change. I don't have the Douglas County outstanding ballots handy, but I do have Chelan County's, and there's a little over 500 ballots left to count.
Yeah.
And that's for the entire county, and of course, when you're talking primary election, only people, say, in the city of Wenatchee would vote in that primary, or the city of Antioch, or the Lake Chelan Hospital District, that kind of deal. So when you're talking about 500 outstanding ballots, that doesn't count the whole, that's the whole county, not the individual jurisdiction. So those numbers that you saw are probably
I think historically, though,
they rarely do.
The election night returns pretty much indicative of how it's going to.
And it looks like the Democrats are going to retake control of the Senate. Andy Hill, the Republican from Redmond, of course, died last year. His seat was up for grabs, and it was decided yesterday, and the Democrat running for that seat is going to defeat the Republicans. So the Democrats are going to get back to that even Steven number in
the state Senate.
In the state Senate. So there you go. Steve, thank you very much for the latest news, of course. Just go to our website. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
One more note. We want to give a special shout out this morning to Ballard Ambulance.
Yes.
Celebrated their 50th anniversary of ambulance services here at the Wenatchee Valley.
Congratulations to Ballard Ambulance. Nicely done. Go to our Facebook page. Go to our website. Keep it on NCW Life News. If anything really develops as far as the air quality is concerned or anything else going on, of course, we'll break in with our regular coverage. And yeah, really. Don't forget the news with Grant Olson tonight at 5, 6, and at 10. Steve, I know you're busy, so I'll let you get back to work.
We're on our way.
Quarter after the hour when we come back. Sports and a whole bunch more. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I love love nature, but I signed up to lease Hondas, not take a hike.
I know, right?
Hey everybody, come on up. The reason why I brought you out here is for a great team building exercise.
Customer wants to talk lifetime warranty. Can I go?
Yeah, go.
Hey, us too, we gotta go.
Go.
16 minutes after the hour, live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Koontz. Let's transition to sports. Normally we start out with how the Apple Sox did last night. Well, they didn't play because of the air quality. Right before the first pitch, they said the air is too unhealthy to play baseball, so the game against Corvallis was postponed because of the air conditions, and you know why everything is going on. So as a result, Wenatchee and Corvallis are going to play a scheduled doubleheader, 2 7-inning games with the first pitch of the first game at 5 o'clock tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Now, there's a distinct possibility if the air quality remains unhealthy as it is now that they might not even get that in. We'll let you know as soon as they make a decision. We'll let you know here on the NCW Live channel. Also, the Wenatchee Parks and Recreation Department was forced to close the Wenatchee City Pool yesterday early because of the poor air quality. There was some games in the West Coast League that they didn't have air quality issues, so they went ahead and got 9 innings in. Yakima Valley knocked off Cowlitz, as you see there. Victoria, the team that Wenatchee is chasing, knocked off Bellingham, and Kelowna knocked off Walla Walla. There's your North Division standings. Wenatchee falls a half game behind Victoria, but again, Wenatchee did not play. Doubleheader tonight, Wenatchee and Corvallis. First pitch of the first game, 5 o'clock at Paul Thomas Senior Field. 2 7-inning contests. The spring sports season for high school, long gone, of course, but the postseason awards are still coming out, including the All-State Awards. Here are the selections for players in North Central Washington. For All-State Soccer, congratulations to Wenatchee's Luis Navarrete and Matt Springer, first team on the Class 4A. And as you can see, Cascade had a whole bunch of folks, as did our friends at Brewster. They placed a lot of guys on the first, second, and third teams. All-State Baseball, very well represented by players from North Central Washington. Wenatchee's Koenig Romig and Mikey Thomas, first team Class 4A, alongside with Eastmont's Mitchell Tomlinson. And Cashmere, which had a great baseball season, placed 3 players in the 1A All-State baseball team. Congratulations to all the local 9s and the local soccer All-Staters. The Mariners jumped out to a 5-run lead early, and then they had to hang on, but they did. But they won 4 in a row. They beat Texas yesterday. The final was 8-7 in a very exciting and entertaining ball game. Nelson Cruz's solo home run sparked the early Mariner onslaught, but Ralph Nid Oder and Joey Gallo homered in a 3-run fourth inning to cut the deficit after the Mariners tacked on 3 more runs in the 6th. Gallo homered again at the bottom of the frame, this time a 3-run shot, and then after scoring a run in the 7th, Texas had the tying run at first base, but pinch runner Delino DeShields was thrown out by center fielder Jared Dyson while trying to advance to third on a base hit. It was a great play. Manager Scott Service says, yeah, it was a huge play.
Play of the game is probably the Dyson throw at third base. Soft liner, he came up, made a great throw, and the tag, the pick and tag that Seager threw on DeShields was awesome. That's tough to do. And big point in the game, you got to make a big play to help our pitching once in a while, and we did tonight. So good ball game, nice win, not an easy one. I think we knew coming into the game tonight we're going to have to, kind of piece it together with the pitching, and we had just enough.
Seattle used 7 pitchers in last night's victory, something that Scott Service said he kind of figured was going to happen.
And I knew, with the Rasmus hadn't made a start in a long time, it was going to be kind of interesting, I guess, how long we were going to stay with him. I thought he threw the ball really well early in the game. I thought his stuff was very sharp, and then kind of hit the wall. I think we saw it, the ball started to get up, and it just wasn't as crisp, the Odor home run and then the Gallo home run that he just got pretty good, I guess, is one way to put it. But, Casey Lawrence did okay, and, obviously Joe Gallo had a big night tonight. He can do that. He's got big power, but our offense kept, hanging in there. We needed to add on. We did. I thought we used a bunch of different guys in the bullpen tonight to get through the ball game, and we got some big outs. Obviously, Zebchinski was really big again tonight. Nick Vincent has done it all year for us.
So the Mariners will go for 5 in a row tonight when they take the first pitch, 5:05. First pitch down in Arlington. Ariel Miranda will get the nod for the M's. Seahawks continuing training camp in Renton. They're getting ready for their next preseason game. They'll be in Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Off the field, Seattle announced yesterday that Cam Chancellor has signed a contract extension. The deal reportedly worth $36 million. Not bad. That's exactly what I make over 3 years here at the NCW Live channel. Chancellor's been a member of the Seahawks since 2010 when the team drafted him in the 5th round. In his 7-year career, Chancellor has 557 tackles and 12 interceptions. Football right around the corner. 21 minutes after the hour, live from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee, the obscure holiday of the day today. This was a no-brainer. It is National Ice Cream Sandwich Day. I love ice cream sandwiches. It doesn't get any better. July, August, early September, the sun, the warm, it tastes so good. You can probably eat more than one. Ice cream sandwiches date back to the early 1900s. Nobody really knows who invented the ice cream sandwich. Most experts agree it was probably just invented by everybody who just figured out if you just take a couple of wafers and put some ice cream in between it, you got your own ice cream sandwich. So nobody really knows who invented the ice cream sandwich. All we know is that days like today, there's treats that are really good, and there's treats like ice cream sandwiches, which are about as good as it gets. Ice cream sandwich day today. I want one right now. All right, let's move on to today in history. It is August 2nd, 2017. 407 years ago, August 2nd, 1610, Henry Hudson was looking for the Northwest Passage. He didn't find it, but he did find Hudson Bay, which is now named after Henry Hudson. On August 2nd, 1610, they sailed into Hudson Bay. They hung around for a while. It didn't end very good, though, for Henry Hudson and the crew of the Discovery. They got packed in by the ice. They spent the winter there. And then in the summer of 1611, Henry Hudson said, "All right, crew, let's keep looking around." And the crew said, "No, we want to go home." And so they mutinied, and they put Henry Hudson and about 4 other people on a little raft, and they sent them loose, and Henry Hudson was never heard from again. But they named a really big body of water after him, Hudson Bay, discovered on this date in 1610. It was 241 years ago, August 2nd, 1776, that we actually signed the Declaration of Independence. By we, I mean everybody else. John Hancock was the only person who actually signed it. John Hancock and one other person signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. On August 2nd of that same year, the 56 members, for the most part, of the Continental Congress got together at the Pennsylvania State House, which we now know as Independence Hall, and actually signed the document itself. So today was the day they signed the Declaration of Independence, August 2nd, 1776. On this date in 1790, 227 years ago, the first census took place. They did it one day, August 2nd, 1790, the first United States Census was conducted. They basically went out door to door and say, "How many you got here? 4? Thank you very much." And they moved on. They did the whole thing in one day. How many people lived in this country on August 2nd, 1790? 3,929,326. That was the final census. By the way, if you refuse or neglect to answer a question on the census, you can be fined $100. They take it pretty seriously. The very first census happened just one day, on this day in 1790. And at this date in 1923, 94 years ago, Silent Cal Coolidge became U.S. president because Warren G. Harding, who you see on the screen there, died in San Francisco. Warren G. Harding's last public speech ever before his death was at Husky Stadium in Seattle before about 30,000 people. And people knew then at the time there was something right because the speech wasn't right. He kind of rambled through it. He lost track of what he was doing. He stumbled over his words, and people at Husky Stadium said, "Something's not right with President Harding." Then they got on the train, and they were supposed to stop in Portland, and they didn't. They just kept right on going to San Francisco. And a couple of days later, Warren G. Harding died. Calvin Coolidge became the president. Happened on this date in 1923. All right, one last item of business to get to before we do Everyone is Entitled to Mike Benatti's Opinion, and that is birthdays, 2 of them to pass along to you today. We'll always remember him as Archie Bunker. Carroll O'Connor was born on this date in 1924. He passed away of a heart attack in 2001 at the age of 76. He'll always be known as Archie Bunker, the legendary Archie Bunker on All of the Family. Of course, he was also in Into the Heat of the Night. He played Helen Hunt's dad in Mad About You. The legendary Carroll O'Connor, many, many Emmy Awards, great actor, born on this date in 1924. Speaking of great actors, Peter O'Toole was born on this date in 1932. He died in 2013 at the age of 81. He was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, all for Best Actor, from his very first movie, Lawrence of Arabia, Beckett, The Lion and Winter, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, The Ruling Class, The Stuntman, My Favorite Year, and Venus, 8 times nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor, and he never won it. Peter O'Toole, born on this date. All right, 25 minutes after the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. That's right around the corner. And don't forget, we'll replay my visit with our friends from Guada, Becca Freemuth and Stacy Lukensmeyer. That interview from last week, we'll replay that in the second half of the hour. And then Steve will be joining me towards the end of the hour so we can give you the latest update on the air quality around Wenatchee. It's not very good. Before we get to any of that, special thanks to our sponsors for making this show possible. Weinstein Beverage, proud to distribute this product from Starbucks. It's called Cold Brew, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's cold coffee, but it's not coffee that they brewed hot and just put in a bottle and made it cold. It was brewed cold from the very, very beginning in very small batches. They don't make them in ginormous batches for quality control. They make them in very small batches. 4 different varieties to choose from. This is just the straight, unsweetened, black, cold coffee. My coworkers like it. They like it a lot. I haven't had a chance to drink it yet, but I'll have one and I'll let you know what I think about it tomorrow. Check it out. It's brewed by Starbucks and distributed by Weinstein Beverage here in North Central Washington. And special thanks to our friends at Highgate Senior Living, every day to the fullest. When I took the tour of Highgate a few weeks ago, I got a chance to look at the commissary and the cafeteria. They got really good food. If you have any kind of dietary restrictions, they'll take care of you there. And if you can eat whatever you want, you'll want to go to Highgate Senior Living. Great, great food, and who's kidding who? Everybody likes to eat good food. Highgate Senior Living, give them a call, ask for a tour, you'll be glad you did. 26 minutes after the hour, when we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
No matter what your age or ailment, when you wake up each day with a sense of purpose, life has meaning and joy.
Just wait a while, it'll get in the hole somewhere.
Helping you do this is our purpose. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest.
The best thing about my life right now is
me.
Collins Fashions has a fabulous selection of clothing, handbags, jewelry, and shoes for all events in your life, such as work, errands, celebration, travels, etc., etc. And our professional caring staff will assist you in coordinating your wardrobe and choose a perfect gift for that special someone. Our many fabulous brands include Joseph Ribkoff, Tribal, Jag Jeans, Tommy Bahama, and we are your Brighton headquarters for North Central Washington. We are grateful for our wonderful customers, and we look forward to seeing you at Collins, where fun and fashion meet in downtown Wenatchee.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, we provide financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their future. Whether it's helping to construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, we start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. Our look-you-in-the-eye attentiveness that our clients demand and get is rooted in values that are as human as a handshake. D.A. Davidson's straightforward approach is the way we've done it for 80 years.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
For a limited time, purchase any super clean pre-owned vehicle in stock at Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore and get your choice of a free family 4-pack season pass to Slidewaters Lake Chelan Water Park or the Wenatchee Super Oval. Choose from over 100 4x4s and all-wheel drive cars and trucks. 50 vehicles priced under 10 grand. And drive away with no money down, no payments for 90 days, and financing from 1.79%. And everybody knows we service what we sell at the Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore. Leonard Evans, where the name means a great deal.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, recently, my buddies and I, we went out to dinner, and this other couple, a younger guy with a very cute girl, apparently a girlfriend, she came and sat at a nearby table. Well, after they sat down, the guy pulled out his cell phone and he started playing with it. He's ignoring the gal. The girl, you could tell, was not real happy about this, but she wasn't saying anything, which is why we assumed she was a girlfriend and not the guy's wife. Well, anyway, we all considered going over to the gal and saying, hey, you know, if you want someone to give you the attention you deserve, come on over and have dinner with us, sit with us. Now, not just to hit on her or anything, just to show her she deserved better. So, guys, remember, if you're paying more attention to your phone than to your woman, someone else may be paying more attention to her. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
You can buy fruit almost anywhere. From first off the tree to first in your hands, Lone Pine offers seasonal fruit from their farm and around the region every day. Make Lone Pine your latte stop with coffee from Blue Star Coffee Roasters and a fresh piece of fruit pie. Take a break with a friend and order a cold micro beer or a glass of Northwest wine. Bring the whole family and enjoy a Lone Pine lunch or a fresh shake in their park-like setting. Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso on Highway 97.
Welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson.
Of the NCW Life Legislative Hotline, I'm Steve Hare.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
And now, your weather forecast for north central Washington.
We're here at the downtown fire station right now.
Dry and warm weather pattern for Friday.
Considering that we're supposed to be 103 degrees today, how do you keep these guys cool?
And this just in, traffic is slowed in the Arrondo area as firefighters attack a brush fire.
Right here on NCW Life News.
Pets are not your whole life, but they do make your life whole. At Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital, not only do they understand that fact, they live it every day. Dr. Bayes and her staff at Paws and Claws love dogs and cats so much they've dedicated their lives to the well-being of our four-legged friends. They offer compassionate care with a personal touch. Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital on the corner of 4th and Nile in East Wenatchee, or call 888-PAWS. 32 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday, August 2nd. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Tomorrow night at the Highlander Golf Course at 5:30, it's the big social event of the year from our friends at GWADA, the Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance. It's the big summer social. And they came in to talk about it last week. I'm talking about Stacy Lukensmeyer and Becca Freemuth, and here's that conversation. My guests today are from the Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance. Say that 3 times fast. To my far left, Stacy Lukensmeyer, who's the vice president, and right next to her, my friend Becca Freemuth, who used to work here. Hi, Becca.
Hi.
We miss you.
I miss you guys.
Yeah. So let's dig on the dirt. How come you left the NCW Life channel?
Because GWADA's awesome.
I know. GWADA is awesome. And
true.
GWADA is now everywhere. GWADA has been around for a long time, Stacy and Becca, but all of a sudden, GWADA's profile has been raised in a significant way.
Yes.
Big way.
Yep, this is true. And, you know, we really owe that credit to Jenny Rojanostyan, who's the executive director of GWADA.
And you pronounced her last name correctly, which I can never do.
With much practice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you decided, the board did, that the organization GWADA, even though it's a 501(c), and most of the great organizations around here are, needed an executive director to kind of be the glue of the organization. Because you didn't have one before you hired Jenny, right?
We actually did have some glue in that organization, and it was Jenny Rickle. She was the president of GWADA for 8 years, I believe, maybe a little bit more than that. And, you know, she really believed it was healthy for the organization to bring someone else into the president position to strengthen the board a little bit more, and that hiring an executive director was really critical for that time period and for just the growth and where the where the organization could go, and she was absolutely right.
For the uninitiated, I'm not one of them. I've known GWADA for years. Our parent companies are members of GWADA. What is the Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance for those people who are unfamiliar with GWADA? There's like 4 people out there, but tell the 4 people who don't know what GWADA
Right.
is.
Well, we'll tag team this one for sure. You know, it is a technology organization, membership driven. So we have members that are not just in technology. Businesses of all kinds are members of GWADA for a couple of different reasons. It really seems that today technology is the glue that binds us all. And no matter what it is that you do in what industry, there are some very technological aspects to it. And so understanding what those assets are in our community and keeping up to date on what's coming down the pipeline and how new technologies can be applied to business, that has kind of been a major component of GWADA, and we've had a lot of educational events for years built around those ideas. And we've evolved as well into just more entrepreneurial efforts. We have a technology conference that we've worked on too, and more of that that's coming up. And we've also gotten closely involved with STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, to kind of work with our K through 12 and our college system in bringing those students up into the technology world of tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention that, you know, GWADA is here to advocate for the progression of technology and entrepreneurs and STEM education in this area. It is GWADA, it is Greater Wenatchee Area, but we are now kind of calling ourselves North Central Washington Technology Alliance to kind of make sure that we encompass all of the small communities in this area to encourage them to think about technology, think about entrepreneurship, and think about STEM education.
Regardless of what business or profession you were in, whether you are knee-deep in technology, say like a local tel kind of a company, or a law firm, you need to either have a basic knowledge of technology or you're not going to make it, right? It's as simple as that. It's just, you're going to be behind the 8 ball from the get-go. You don't have to embrace technology, but you got to know enough of it to keep you ahead of the game, right?
Right.
And this is where GWADA comes in.
And then to see, you know, where opportunity may lie, you know, what is kind of untouched out there that you hadn't really thought about that would affect your industry, that would benefit your company.
Yeah, and a lot of it is about, I think, from what I've seen, is that these companies who maybe aren't tech-focused, GWADA is more than just tech. It's networking, it's building the community. I think these companies stand behind what we stand for of making this area more prosperous and bringing these bigger companies in and helping grow our economy. And so I think that's why a lot of members support what we do.
You, of course, when you're not working with GWADA, you're at the college.
Right. I'm the business and industry liaison for the college, and I oversee the Center for Entrepreneurship there.
Does GWADA have a membership drive, so to speak, or is it kind of always going on? How do you get new people to join the organization, new businesses, new individuals?
It is always going on.
We always accept members, so they can go to our website, get some good member information there, or email me and Jenny Rojanasatian at info@gwada.org. We can provide some of that information. Membership is only $180, I think, per year for a small business.
Wow.
So it's very affordable. Membership gets you into all of our events for free or reduced cost. We have about 1 to 2 events every month, and we have quite a few coming up this fall that are pretty exciting.
One of the best events I think you guys done in a long time, because I don't know who came up with the idea, but when you brought together Sarah Bumps and Don Sangster and Mr. Pitzinger and these heritage businesses, and they're passing them on to the next generation. Well, that was a great symposium. What
it was a panel.
It was a panel.
Where did I learn a lot from that?
Yeah, I think Jenny started those entrepreneurial panels about a year or so ago. That's actually how I met Jenny. I was filming them for NCW Life, and that's how I got to know GWADA. So yeah, our last one was featuring all those people talking about succession planning and how to build their business, knowing that eventually they will probably retire. And the unique thing about a lot of those people were they were family businesses, which I think speaks to this area, and there's a lot of family businesses here.
Yep, it does. They were a great group of panelists. It was really an honor to be able to moderate that panel. I have loved doing each of them. I think there was only one of the entrepreneurial panels that I have had to miss. And this one just was really fun to be able to ask a little bit more questions and dig a little bit more and get more info out of them. It was really fascinating information.
And there's
too.
more coming up, and we'll talk about that
Yes.
in the second half of the show. But let's talk
definitely.
about Thursday, August 3rd. You guys are having a party. I'm going to call it a party.
It is a party.
Yeah.
It is our summer social. So we have an annual summer social this year. It's at Highlander Golf Course on August 3rd at 5:30. This is really just an event to thank our members, thank our sponsors, thank our board, bring everyone together for a fun evening of networking, food, drink, raffles, music. We have Eden Moody coming.
She's good.
She's great. She'll be coming and performing live for us. So it'll be a fun event. This will be actually my first summer social, so I'm excited.
We've done it for a number of years, and it's been up at Omi Gardens for a little while, and which is a beautiful location. And this year, because we have partnered with the STEM Network for this particular event, we have more people that are coming. We have quite a few people that are coming from out of the area who will be here for 2 days for STEM Network meetings. So we were able to then, and needed to, kind of expand into a little bit larger area, and we're able to do the Highlander for
Perfect
it.
timing. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
And if it's warm, it could certainly be warm. That means you could have some of the things inside. With
Right,
the air
I'm
conditioning.
great with that.
Yes, yeah. We'll have some nice inside-outside mixture. Like she said, Washington STEM is bringing over 50 statewide STEM kind of leaders and educators to come and join us for the event, which really just kind of helps one of our 3 tiers bring that into the community and make sure these business professionals are seeing what's going on with STEM in this area.
As our viewers look at the photos of some previous social events, especially the ones held at Omi Garden, is this a structured event, or is you show up and just have fun? Is there any kind of agenda?
There's going to be some minor speeches, some minor comments, but for the most part, it's not structured. You come, you have fun, you get a drink, you get some food, and you spend the evening networking with a gorgeous view of the river and the valley, and so I'm excited.
Is it too late to get tickets or even sponsor? Can you sponsor something?
We'll take some sponsors. Definitely, if you're interested in sponsoring, reach out to us at info@guada.org. Tickets you can still buy. Go to our website, guada.org. There's a link right there on the bottom for you to purchase your tickets. Sales do end August 1st, so make sure.
Next Tuesday.
I think it's Tuesday, so make
Coming up
sure
fast.
you get your tickets. They are selling fast. I was looking this morning, and we're reaching our limit. So I would definitely recommend getting there and buying them soon. If you are a member, it's $25. If you're a non-member, it's $35. So it's affordable. You get a full dinner.
I was going to say, obviously, concerning the time, there must be food and drink available.
There's going to be a full buffet dinner. I think it's like a taco bar. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure what it is.
You're gonna get a lot of people's hopes up for taco
I know,
night.
that's
You
why
really
I was like, do I say it or do I not say it? Also, something very exciting is we are offering our first kind of Guada swag. So we've partnered with Equipped. They were featured on our panel during our Innovator Awards last year. Well, I guess last spring.
Which was also just a great event. That was a lot of fun.
And so they are up in Twisp. They make their own unique little reusable handbags.
That never biodegrade ever.
Never. They're supposed to last forever. They're very cool. They're very hip and happening. And so we've partnered with them, and we've got our own custom designed bag with the Guada logo, everything, and we're selling those during the event to raise funds for the scholarships we give to the students and teacher at the Innovator Awards. So like our STEM Educator of the Year gets a scholarship, and the money that we get from these bags will go to fund that.
And I think I saw ladder ball. Is there ladder ball?
There should be some ladder ball. I know we're doing a hole-in-one competition on the actual green. There's a small green area at Highlander, so we're doing a hole-in-one competition. There'll be some great raffle prizes. We've got 2 tickets to Lacage at New America PAC coming this August.
Thank you for pronouncing it correctly.
I mean, I also work at the PAC, and so I'm around it a lot. So Lacage off full, I know how to pronounce it. So we're really excited to give those tickets away. I know one of our board members, is part of the Apron Man. That's that new fad kind of happening right now, and he's donating a couple aprons to give away. So it should be a really fun event.
Stacey, what's it like working with somebody who knows what's going on?
Absolutely wonderful.
Isn't
you
that
know,
cool?
when you sit on a board, there's especially with the GWADA board, it's a working board, and so there's a lot of work to be done, especially when you have an organization that's moving so quickly forward and growing. And it's absolutely wonderful to have Jenny and Becca on board, who are so capable, who are on top of it, and who are just able to be really specific with you. Hey, this is what we need from you at this point in time, and this is how you can help us. And then the rest of the time, you don't need to worry about it because they're making really great things happen.
How did you get Hornswoggle to be on the board? You're the vice president. How did
Right,
you get that
it
gig?
actually happened in the middle of Wenatchee Avenue a few years ago. Jenny Rickle hollered over the top of a car, hey, would you be interested in joining the GWADA board? And I said, sure, sounds great. And the changes that have happened in the last few years have been really phenomenal.
And you were going to be assuming the presidency next year?
I am, yep,
Cool.
I'm going to be the president next year. Ron Brown is having a great year this year as president. There's
Got some
so many
big shoes to
exciting
fill.
things happening. I know,
Ron's
I
a great
do.
guy.
He is. And he's been with GWADA and on the board for a really long time. Yep, so he will thankfully still be there as past president for that year, so which will be a real benefit to me. And then, you know, we're going to keep him on the board of advisors for as long as
We mentioned
possibly
Ron
can.
Brown and we mentioned STEM. What is GWADA's relationship with the area school districts as far as that's concerned? You got-
That's
got
how
things?
much time do we have to talk about that?
Go ahead, as much time as you want.
All right.
This is your
all right.
section of the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I mean, everything's
good,
copacetic
because
then?
that one we could fill a few days
Yeah,
talking about.
STEM is a huge topic. We work really, I mean, obviously Wenatchee School District is making hurdles, you know, with Wenatchee Learns and all of that good stuff in STEM education. Eastmont School District is also doing great things. They're both members, so if you're a teacher there, you get a discount to the summer social.
And they got nothing going on. It's August,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you know.
Come spend a little time,
Yeah,
right?
so so we, you know, we've made some really great progress working with the school districts to encourage STEM. Having Ron Brown on the board has been great, I think, to lead that forward. And I know that, you know, our goals moving forward is, like I said before, reaching out to the other districts, reaching out to the other schools to see what they're doing, encourage them to, you know, engage with us and figure out how we can make this a better STEM area in the whole area.
Because that is the future of education, and that if you're hitting the job market either out of high school or out of college, you have to have pretty good knowledge of technology.
Right.
You do. You absolutely have to.
Yep, you do.
It's as essential as algebra was for me 30 years ago, or whatever. You just it's
Right. It's just part of the changing world.
Yeah.
It really is, you know. And the opportunity came up almost 2 years ago now, I think, for in the formation of the STEM network here locally to have a co-leadership in that. So Sue Kane at Wenatchee Valley College, she is part of a co-director, and Jenny Rojanostian with GWADA is a co-director too. And so, you know, the involvement in STEM efforts became even deeper at that point. Wenatchee School District, Eastmont, and Cashmere have actually been really involved in the STEM network development from the beginning. Like Becca said, now reaching out, you know, to other school districts too, even Quincy, you know, there's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening in GWADA besides the summer social, which again is out Thursday, August 3rd. Other events upcoming with GWADA and some more small talk with Becca and Stacey. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
When you think of the Wenatchee River, think Osprey Rafting. Hi, this is Gary with Osprey, and we offer the full spectrum of river fun. Heart pumping Class 4 rapids, super fun Class 3 rapids, And for the kids, family-friendly Class 2 rapids. These trips end with a fantastic barbecue beach party. Wait, there's more! Happy hour rafting from 5 to 7, guided paddleboarding, and rentals. Osprey, the river company.
Book your trip today at ospreyrafting.com.
Wenatchee Valley College is now offering 4-year degrees. The need for engineering technologists is rapidly growing, and the new Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering Technology is designed to meet the needs of local employers. Students with an associate degree can complete the program in only 2 or 3 years. Don't wait! The program is accepting just 20 students for fall quarter. Apply now at wvc.edu/engineeringtech.
And we are back about 8 minutes to go on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuhn, Stacy Lukensmeyer, Becca Freemuth. As much as I love Jenny, the executive director, I appreciated you not having her on the show today because I can never pronounce her last name correctly.
Well, she's actually out of the country. Her and her husband took a nice trip over to France and
good for them.
Those areas,
Yeah.
and so she's coming back next week sometime, and I'm very happy for her to come back. But it's been fun this week, kind of taking over and seeing what I could do and fill in her shoes a little bit, which is
Well,
very
while you're
hard to
talking
do.
about that, where does Jenny and her husband live, and where do they hide the key?
Yeah, I'm not sure she would
On live
appreciate me telling
television.
that.
Yeah, maybe off air, Dan.
We're going to wrap up this conversation by reminding people again about the big summer social next week at the Highlander, but there's other stuff coming up on the agenda.
Yeah, so we were talking about STEM education, and we have a great event. I think this is our 4th year now hosting the Wenatchee Mini Maker Fair here in Wenatchee. It's a very fun event. It's kind of like a show and tell for not only students and teachers, but also community members to come and show people what they're doing. Do you have a good definition for a maker?
An innovator, a creator,
Creator.
a creative, if you will.
I feel like I'm hosting Password with Alan Ludden. The word is creative.
Right. Yeah. It's somewhat hard to define because once you begin to define it, you begin to limit that, and it's really about what do you do? What are you passionate about? What do you make? What do you create? What do you envision? What are you trying to make happen that is either going to solve a problem in the world, or that is just, of interest, or that is beautiful and worth acknowledging and seeing? So, I mean, it includes everything from arts and dance all the way out to those who are creating the next coolest technological gadget that is going to change the world for a 13-year-old who will someday be 27, who will someday be 35,
Yeah, and I think something special, first off, the Wenatchee Mini Maker Fair is, I think, the only one in the state. Don't quote me on that.
Well, you think the other ones would pick up on that because it's great.
There
it's
is a
huge
Maker
event.
Fair in Seattle,
Yeah.
but this is the only one actually in the U.S. that was started by students and that is run by students. Guada just, they need an organization through which to funnel the funds, and they need an organization to hold the contracts, et cetera. But it's done by students, so
Yeah.
we just kind of are honorary support for them.
Yeah, so we just got our new team of high school students. In the past, it has been solely Wenatchee high school students. They kind of started it. But this year, we really encouraged the other school districts to open up and have their kids come in. And so we've got our small group of high school students who are very excited to start. We are starting our meetings in August, and we're going to start planning it. And they pretty much do everything. They do the marketing, they do the logistics. They really learn what it's like to plan a huge event. We had 1,400 people attend last year, so it's a big event.
And it is a great learning experience for the kids. It really is.
It is,
Because
yeah.
now they understand what it takes to put on something like that. When is the Mini Maker Fair?
So that will be October 21st. It's a Saturday. It's pretty much an all-day event from 9 to 3, I think. It's at the Convention Center again this year. So we just encourage people to come in and support our community and see what people are making. So
that's the Mini Maker Fair in October. Anything else on the horizon that you want to get out there while we're still
yeah,
talking about
so we are hosting a LinkedIn 101 workshop with April Welch from Social Media School of North Central
And for
Washington.
those who aren't familiar, LinkedIn is kind of a national network where you kind of put your resume out there and hope
Yeah,
people
so
notice
it's for
kind of thing?
for professionals. Yeah, it's,
So I'm out.
You're out. Dan can't join it. He's not invited to the
Nope,
workshop.
can't do it.
So, this event will be for people who have maybe dabbled in LinkedIn, not really quite sure how to use it. So we'll be going over how to make a good profile, how to make the right connections, because LinkedIn is all about networking. It's building your network online to then further it in real life. And then we'll also be talking about kind of some strategy and the how-tos and what do you do not do on LinkedIn. And I'm also excited to say that we'll be snapping some headshots there too. So if you don't have a professional headshot, you'll be able to come and get one really
I have a
quickly.
mug shot. Does that count?
Probably not, but I mean, again, you're not going to be on LinkedIn, so it's okay.
Right, you're really shining as someone that they would want.
Yeah. So this event will be in the morning, so it's before work, so we really encourage, professionals to come join us. There'll be donuts and coffee. So it's 7:30 to 9 at the Confluence Technology Center on September 21st, so Thursday. Guada likes Thursday events. Ever in doubt, it's probably a Thursday. That's what I've learned.
Very
it's
true.
actually free to members. So if you're a Guada member, this is one of those events that you get in for free. If you're not a member, it's going to be $10.
But you're going to get $10 worth of that.
Oh,
So-
definitely. It'll be very fun. April Welch is great. She's got a lot of knowledge in social media, and she's a great presenter. She's very fun, very hands-on, so it'll be a really good event for people who just aren't quite sure what to do with their social media.
And I'm guilty.
Yeah.
We got about 2 minutes left. Let's wrap things up where we began with. Let's talk about Thursday again. I know you couldn't have done this without sponsors.
Yes, so we have a great sponsor, Native Network. They've really, and that's Jenny Rickle. She owns that, so of course she's tied in Native Network with Guada, and her support and Native Network support, we couldn't do what we do without our sponsors. So we're very thankful for her. And then again, Washington STEM has helped us kind of bring this event together too. So.
And if for non-Guada members or people who are even curious about the board, the organization, this is a great chance to get to know Guada in an informal basis, isn't
This
it?
is our board. Our board will be there. Jenny and I will be there. This is great to learn about Guada. Great to learn about what else is happening in the community. Because, like we said, I think we're looking at over 150 people attending this event, and so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's casual. It's a great time to know people, get to know people.
But again, the deadline is Tuesday at the end of close of business on Tuesday, August 1st, because the Highlander has to figure out how many tacos to make or whatever.
Exactly,
it may be. Right.
exactly. So we've got to give a head count in. So we're closing ticket sales on August 1st. So make sure you go to our website, www.guada.org, and you can buy those tickets there.
Well, here's an idea. What you do is you get a tea time at the Highlander at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock on the 1st. Then you go out and you play 18 holes of golf, and it butts right up against the 5:30 kickoff of the deal. And then you just spend the whole day at the
relaxing
Highlander.
day out there.
Yeah, not a bad idea. One last question. We got about a minute left. Does Guada have a mission statement? Does Guada have an overall, Guada, we're cool? Do they have one of those? I mean,
we do, and we
because if you
review
don't,
this.
Guada, we're cool might be a good one.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'll make sure that gets suggested at our December meeting when we kind of do our big review of everything for the year and look
Yeah.
at that. It's really about connecting people and technology, and we've added some entrepreneurial elements as well as STEM network elements too.
Guada is a great organization. If they weren't a great organization, they wouldn't be on my show. We're bringing back the gift thing. I don't know if you remember, Becca, when we first started the show, we used to give away gifts.
I do.
Now, you don't get anything because you used to work here.
Okay.
And I think when you left, you took some office supplies.
Yeah,
with you.
probably.
So, Stacy, you want a sleeve of golf balls?
Absolutely.
Or you got to choose one of the three. Sleeve of golf balls,
okay. Choices.
NCAA Life mouse pad, or a mug. Which of the three would you like? Golf balls, mouse pad, or mug?
I don't get the baseball that was sitting in
no,
the mug.
my baseball.
Okay, I'm going to take the mug, Dan.
There you go.
It's a beautiful mug.
Excellent.
There
It
you
is
go.
a beautiful mug. It will look great upon my desk.
Yes.
Or maybe right here. Maybe you need a regular co-host,
A regular co-host, I like that.
That's you now, my friend. Again, the big summer social event, say that 3 times fast, is tomorrow night at the Highlander. And for ticket availability, and I don't know how many are left, just get a hold of Guada directly before tickets are gone. Steve, we've got about 90 seconds left. You have a very interesting story.
Yeah, I'll
pass
be
along.
watching for later in the 5 o'clock hour with Grant Olson. He'll have more details on a DUI hit and run that police say happened last night at Wenatchee, involving apparently some guy who hit a parked car, drove off with part of the parked car's bumper stuck in the front of his grill. So, police just followed the trail. He's in custody now, but we'll have more details on that coming up a little bit later. Luckily, nobody was hurt.
Once again, the air quality is unhealthy right now for the Wenatchee Valley, and it will probably stay that way. Again, there's simply there. Thank you very much, our producer Caleb, for throwing that up. Basically, we're under the influence of that big ridge of high pressure. It's a massive dome, and with no wind and no atmospheric mixing at all, there's simply no place for the smoke from British Columbia, Montana, and the northern part of the state to go. So it's coming right down towards us, and it finds the valley with our fairly low relative humidity, and it's hanging around. So it's not good out there.
And depending on how the wind is direction, we could even get a little smoke from the south.
And right now, that's the biggest problem. There is no wind at all. I mean, not even a breeze out there. So there's simply no place for the smoke to go. As we say, the lid is on. Air quality alert is in effect from right now all the way through at least noon on Saturday. So there's no real relief in sight. Any kind of respiratory issues, don't go outside.
So what you see behind me now is likely going to be there tomorrow too.
Yep, absolutely. And also we have a heat advisory on top of all that, but that doesn't begin until tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. dark and early live from Studio C. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Woo!
Wee. Ooh.